here when we know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs in the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Lately, I've been hearing on the Dana Show in the afternoon an advertisement for some auto repair insurance, and I asked about it last week when Matt was in here, but it's just, every time I hear it, I think I should do something, put a jar aside or something. And because car repairs are just a part of life, and you think you're never going to need them, but you do, you're always going to need them, so might as well put money away for them. It might be the better insurance policy than paying somebody else to pay on your behalf. I don't know. It's just one of those questions. Good morning. Oh, Matt Gibbs is here. I'm sorry. From Sunrise Automotive, and he is here, of course, to answer your automobile questions. We invite you to call. The number is 622-9622. And, of course, if the car is beyond repair, or you just want another one, Crossroad Auto Sales has some selections, and maybe sometime during today's show we'll get a spotlight on one or two of them. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Larry.
How are you?
Good.
Where's your microphone? There's your microphone. How, everything all right over at the Sunrise?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been over there in a while, but that's good news, right? If I don't need... Oh, I need to come for an oil change. Oh, I do have something I want to tell you.
Okay.
About oil changes.
All right. Oh, gosh, I know.
You know what I'm going to say?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. That we passed a sign the other day, and it said the quickest oil change on earth.
Okay.
All right. And I said to Robin, I don't know that that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. I think I'd rather go to somebody who will take his time to look at some of the other things that are needed in there and point out to me, because I was thinking of you. I'd rather go to Matt, because Matt's going to not just change my oil, but he's going to do other stuff. Plus, he's going to say, by the way, we noticed, and that's what I need. I don't need the quickest oil change on earth.
And you're that type of person. But then there's other people that needs the fastest oil change on earth. See, people come in all the time and they'll ask, can I get my car serviced? Some people come in and say, can I get an oil change? So, and it's a mindset. If you want to come in and get an oil change, I won't do an oil change, but I understand what they're saying.
Right.
They're saying, change my oil, don't look at nothing, don't give me no bad news. That's what they're saying. When people come in and say, can I get my car serviced? By golly, if you serviced a car and something happens the next day, they're going to be down at your place yelling at you saying, I just had my car in yesterday to have it serviced. But in essence, we changed the oil, the filter, and lube the chassis. But what we do is, whether you come in and you want an oil change, or if you come in and you want it serviced, we're going to do the same thing to the car. And the good thing about Sunrise is we don't, if you need a little bit of brake fluid, I don't charge you $2. If you need a little bit of coolant, we don't charge you $3. And if you need washer fluid, we don't charge you an extra $3. We just fill up all the fluids. We check all the air pressures in the tires. We check the wipers, and we check the belts, and we check, the hoses, and we check the lights. And that's what we do on everybody's car. So by saying that, I say this. If you want the fastest oil change on the planet, do not come to Sunrise Automotive, because we're just not going to do it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and yeah. Okay. So I see what some people. But if I was going to give advice to a new driver, I would say you don't want the fastest one. I mean, no offense to those guys, whoever they are. They're in town here somewhere. We just happened to see the sign the other day.
And there are places. The name of the company is Quick Lube. Quick Lube.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and a lot of the new car stores, I don't know if you've noticed at Ocala Ford Motors, they just built a brand new building. Quick service. Get them in, get them out. Get them in, get them out. I just...
Well... All right, on that, let me just say this, because we do have a phone call. But real quick, I just want to say something about Sunrise. I've had problems with cars, major problems with cars, that I literally was without a car for a month. I am not exaggerating. I've had major problems with cars in the time I've known you, and you've never taken more than a few days. So that's quick enough for me. Because if you've ever had to wait a month for a car... 5 days is fine.
Right.
If that makes sense to you. And you do have a phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Matt.
Yes, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Say, man, what is your take on, I kind of know what your take's going to be, but now Mobile One, and I think Pennzoil is also advertising once a year oil change, guaranteed to not wreck your engine. It's supposed to be good. I think you're talking 15,000 miles. It must be something halfway decent, because they would be liable for engine problems or something if it wouldn't be good, right?
Well, I would say this. Number one, I've been seeing that ad once a year, Mobile One with the little 3-inch Kevin Harvick and standing on top of the motor. I've seen that commercial several times, and here's the problem I have with that commercial. Regardless of the product, if the product is out there and it's saying, okay, you can drive this car for 1 year and not change your oil, here's the issues that I have with it from a technician's perspective. Now, I do understand with fuel injection is way different than carburation. Okay, so crankcase, fuel getting into the crankcase, that's me buzzing.
Okay.
It's way different. Okay, the oil doesn't get contaminated today like it did years ago when we had carburetors. But here's the deal. What if your valve cover gasket's leaking? What if your rear main seal's leaking a little bit? What if your front seal's leaking a little bit? You go into a place, you get your oil changed, and you don't have to change this oil again for a year. But what if you're using a quart of oil every 2,000 miles? In 2,000 miles, you use 1 quart of oil.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to go 15,000 miles. You ain't gonna have no oil. Now, if you run out of oil, they're not gonna be responsible for fixing your engine because you let it run out of oil. How many people out there? Let's be honest. How many people out there check their oil? None of my family checks their oil. Nobody checks.
Well, one of the reasons that they don't is the fact that on your dash, a red light would go on saying, check your oil, your engine, right?
A lot of the cars, now there are some cars that will have a light to say low oil level. The majority of the cars, though, don't have that light, but they have change oil now lights. That's on a timer. Okay, so you're going to rely, they're called idiot lights for a reason. So you're going to rely on that car to tell you that here you have no oil. No,
It's not good.
One of the better things, by changing your oil every 3,000-4,000 miles, if you do have a leak or something, at least you have a little bit of time to kind of catch it. The scary part about it is if it's dumping oil, you're going to go get it looked at right away. If you come out and there's a puddle under your car, you're going to take it in and get it looked at. But saying that this car doesn't need an oil change for 1 year if it's seeping out, and we see it all the time where the customer's not really complaining about any oil on the garage or on the driveway, but they have an oil leak. And that scares me for the customer's sake. Going 1 year without checking.
Well, whether or not your car leaks oil in that, they must be saying that the oil must be good enough to last a year or 15,000 miles, right? Whether it leaks or not. I mean, to get that oil in your engine must be doing the correct thing, right?
Well, that's what they're saying. Whether I to be honest with you, sitting here on the radio and everybody listening, I've not tested that particular oil. I haven't gone through the process I've done with other oils to test them and kind of get an idea of what it is. I'd be willing to go buy a quart of that oil and test it and see how it compares against like Schaefer's oil, and see if it's has the qualities that like Schaefer oil has. I'd like to do. Matter of fact, I will do that because I'm just that.
Just curious.
I'm just that type of guy.
Let us know what the results are. Thank you, Hugh. Let me take the break and we'll be right back. The phone number, if you'd like to call Matt, 622-9622.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, intervals of clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm around, the high 81 to 85. And clearing Tuesday night with a low of 58 to 62 in the northern interior parts of the zone to 71 along the coast. Partly sunny Wednesday, high 84 to 88. Thursday, clouds and sun and breezy in the afternoon with a stray shower along the coast, high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Tired of looking at stained carpets, dirty tile, or grout? Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Make your flooring look great again. Stains, pet odors, allergies. Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. From serving our country to serving our community. Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Residential and commercial. Their work is guaranteed along with your satisfaction. Check their website, silverbackrestoration.com.
Hi, this is Vanessa Lane Jennings with the Jennings Law Firm, located here in beautiful Ocala. Join me every single Friday at 10:30 for Legal Lane. We'll be discussing various legal topics such as family law, criminal law, contracts, and much more. So this is your chance to call in with your legal questions and have them answered. That's every Friday, 10:30, right here, WOCA The Source.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952. Robin, how do you like my design?
You're designing a box?
That's not a box. It's a doghouse.
Rough draft for your rough? Sounds like you need personal service.
I do?
Yes, to print the blueprints. See Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can print blueprints, notarize permit applications, print and mail out invoices, and even provide great-looking business cards.
Personal Service Center. That's the one on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, right?
Just look for the yellow signs. Your pedigree palace will be a reality in no time.
All right, 17 minutes after 10 o'clock, Matt Gibbs is here from Sunrise Automotive and Crossroad Auto Sales. They're both at the same location, which is 1800 Northwest 10th Street. And the phone lines are open right now if you'd like to call Matt here while he's on the air, ask a question about your car, or maybe some kind of a additive. I don't know. I was mentioning off the air to Matt that if you walk through this parking lot here at the Paddock Mall, and it's like a Sunday after they close or whatever, or before they open, as long as it's daylight, you can see every single parking space has two oil stains in it. One if the car is facing forward, and one if the car is facing the other way. So cars must be leaking all over the place, because cars are cars all over the world.
Cars are cars all over the world.
You slept last night and said, I'm going to figure out a way to get this song on this show.
Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Good morning, Matt. This is Sonny.
Hey, Sonny.
How you doing?
Good.
I'd just like to report my little silver bullet there is still getting about 26 miles to the gallon around town, and your magic touch seems to be lasting.
That's what we want. We don't want it just to last for a minute. We want it to last.
Yeah, well, usually things get tired or whatever, but anyway, I just want to let you know everything is going happy, and I guess I'll be seeing you soon for a little maintenance.
All right.
So, have a good day.
Thank you, Sonny. You too.
Thank you, Sonny.
All right. Thank you, WOCA. Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye now.
So just going back to what we were saying in the beginning, if I come in and ask you to service my car, or I come in and say, would you change my oil? Either, whatever I say, it's still going to be the same service at the end, right?
At the end of the day.
Okay.
But I'm going to hear what you're saying. And if you say I need...
Larry won't.
Well, if a customer comes in and says, I need an oil change, and I'll say, do you have 20 minutes? And that's going to tell me right now, I'm on lunch, I need to get back to work. They're in a hurry.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, when someone's car... Time is probably the most important thing we all look at. How much time you don't sit in my waiting room is real important.
Okay. I have in my car, I have a light that comes on that says fuel is low. You need to put gas in there. Okay. And we did a gig the other day at the other side of town somewhere. And I turned on the radio and I heard that we had dead air. So I knew I had to get back here really quick. And I had this light that said low gas. So I thought, oh my gosh, should I risk this? And I thought, I better stop. Because what if I don't make it? That's worse. And so the same theory applies with the oil. I mean, if you spend that little extra time letting somebody with knowledgeable eyes and knows what they're looking at, I don't know. To me, it's worth the extra time it takes. Just to have you tell me what I don't want to hear, but at least you'll save me the inconvenience of being stuck on the interstate.
You know, and here's the thing. I don't push it, but I feel it's my responsibility to tell you. You know, if I see something with your car,
or hear something,
or feel something, or
Right.
hear something, whatever. And if I see that, I feel like it's my responsibility to tell you, not necessarily to take more money out of your pocket.
See, that's why I love you, because I know that's never going to happen. I honestly know this, Matt. I'm not just saying it because you're on the radio. This is absolutely the truth. That's the one thing. I mean, if it costs money, it costs money. But I know it's not you padding your pockets with something,
right?
To pay for that limo that you are chauffeured around in.
Yeah, that limo.
and your driver. Oh, I'm teasing.
I'm the driver.
Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. Your engine oil is your engine's primary coolant. Believe it or not, the radiator fluid is the secondary coolant. So if your engine oil is tired or non-existent, your engine is in a world of hurt.
Yes. Yeah. And there's actually
have a good day.
Cadillacs. They have a situation. They have a system in the North Star engines to where if let's say your cooling, something happens with your cooling system, that they have a way to divert oil to help cool the engine.
Really?
Because oil is actually a better. It absorbs the heat better.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. How's Dan's Cadillac, by the way? I kept hearing about Dan's Cadillac.
I don't know. I haven't talked to Dan. Does he still have the radio station? Don't ever see Dan.
I saw him yesterday.
Well, I see Joe, so I know that he's still around here somewhere.
Was that him?
That was Joe.
But anyway, all right, phone lines are open if you have a question for Matt. Can you talk about some of your cars on your lot?
Yeah, matter of fact, I drove over a 2007 Nissan Murano that is absolutely wonderful, and I got a Pontiac
Murano. That's a crazy name.
Murano.
Morano, like
Murano. It's a nice vehicle.
Morano, not Moro.
Don't, dude. It's a Nissan Murano.
It's not okay.
And then
it just sounds like Morano.
Well, that's that. Then I should drive that more often. And
let me look it up. What year is it?
It's a 2007 Nissan Murano.
Yeah.
There's a 2000
and you like it?
Yeah, it's nice. And there's a Pontiac Torrent, which is the same body style as like a Chevy Equinox. It's a real nice car.
Oh, it's a pretty car.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's like, do you call that an SUV or no?
I consider that a crossover.
Okay.
And Hyundai Tucson, that's really nice. A Chevy Trailblazer LTZ, that's really. I got everything that I can honestly sit here and say the cars we have for sale, they're nice cars.
How much are you selling it for?
That Murano is $99.95.
The average price is $10,116.
Okay.
So
and there you go.
You're selling it for under the average. And the score it gets from people who've owned them is a 9.0 out of 10. That's not bad.
No. We sell a lot of them. It's one of them cars where I don't have very, very long.
That's nice. What color is it?
It's black with black leather.
Oh, that could be
sunroof, a navigation.
I could go into the Uber business. It seems like all Uber drivers have black cars.
Huh. We've actually had an increase of Uber drivers. We got set up because an Uber, if he wants to use his vehicle as an Uber vehicle, they have to have it inspected.
Oh, okay.
And so we've been inspecting cars for Uber for drivers. Which is good to know that at least Uber, the company Uber, is saying, these cars need to meet certain qualifications.
Right.
Otherwise, the car doesn't work.
So, the 2017 of that same car is $41,000?
Yeah, and that's probably, I don't know if that'd necessarily be the base model, but it's not the trim model that this probably is.
Meaning what? It's actually more expensive than that?
Probably the price that you're seeing there is probably this car's probably $45,000 to $48,000. I would think.
Really?
Yeah, because of the options it has.
This is a U.S. News and World Report. It's the number 7 car in the midsize SUVs. It actually has the lower score than the 2007. 2007 had a 9. This has an 8.5. Wow. Do you have another phone call? Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Hey, good morning, Matt. Good morning, Larry.
Hey.
Hey, Larry. Larry, the girls missed you Saturday. They wanted to know where you were.
This is Joe Niles. I appreciate you sending the pictures.
Yeah. Well, I've got more I can't share on Facebook, but that's another story. Matt, I've actually found a motorcycle shop, an independent shop that uses Schaefer oil here in Marion County, and they're real strong supporters of it. I just thought I'd pass that on to you.
Yeah, it's up on 441.
It is?
Is it up on 441?
No, this one's down in Bellevue area.
Oh, cool. There's a Harley shop up on 441 too that is big with Schaefers, and that's good to know that there's one in Bellevue too. Yeah, from what I hear, I'm not a big motorcycle guy, but a lot of the Harley guys have switched over from Screaming Eagle to the Schaefers, and they're doing they really like it.
Well, as soon as I get through this case of Amsoil, I'm going to go down and buy some and give it a shot.
Yep, there you go.
But my question is for you, I always buy used cars. I mean, I'll let somebody else take the hit on it. But I tell you, I can go car shopping, and if the owner was a smoker, I can tell. Is there any tricks that you can use to get that odor out of the car? Because I just won't buy the car if it was owned by a smoker. And I'll go ahead and hang up and get the answer, Matt.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, what I do is I have an ionizer, and
yes,
the ionizer. The sheriff's department uses them. They use them, the deputies that have canines, and also the Friday and Saturday night when they're picking up the drunks, folks that puke in the police cars.
Yeah,
they have an ionizer, and when it operates, it actually creates chlorine. So they'll actually crank up the patrol cars, run the air conditioner on the recirc mode, put the machine in there, and just let it. It basically bleaches the inside of the car.
That's
and it
amazing.
Removes all the odors. Yeah. And but also there's down on 441, close to where Ocala Ford Motors is. It's called Pro. It's on the other side of the road. So it'd be on the east side of 441, and it's called Pro. And what that is, it's a professional detailer supply company.
Oh, okay.
And you can go in there, and they actually sell a packet of this. I can't think of the name of it. If you went in there and told them what you needed to take the smell out of a car.
Right. They know
give you this, and you open this packet, put some warm water in it, close it up, and let it sit there, and it does the same thing.
And it
creates,
works?
It works real well. If you don't have an ionizer, there's another way of doing it, and that's to get this.
And it actually removes the smell as opposed to masking the smell?
Yeah, it kills the bacteria, whatever, that creates the smell. And what you do is you'll actually just start the car up, let it idle, turn the AC on, but you have to make sure you put it on maximum and push your recirc button, because when you push your recirc button on your air conditioner, it uses the air inside the car to make it cooler, and it puts it throughout the whole car and through the whole system, and even in the walls of the car.
That is cool. And how much is that?
I think they're like $20.
Wow, that's good to know. Well, I was guilty of making a car smell like smoke once upon a time, but not anymore. Thank you, Matt. What's your phone number?
Our phone number is 352-690-1993.
All right. Thank you, Matt. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. President Trump and his Russian counterpart slated to have a conversation today.
12:30 today, the president will pick up the phone and Vladimir Putin of Russia will be on the other end. This is the first time that the two will have spoken by telephone since that deadly train bombing in St. Petersburg. So this will mark the first time that the two leaders have spoken since that missile strike against Syria.
Fox's John Roberts.
The two are expected to discuss the civil war in Syria, Russia's continued backing of Bashar al-Assad, North Korea also likely on the agenda today.
The CEO of United Airlines and leaders of some other carriers on Capitol Hill nearly a month after a passenger was dragged off a flight in Chicago. United's Oscar Munoz apologizing for the incident. And leading the Tony Award nominations with 12 nods, Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812, a musical adaptation